Here are the top stories for today, September 16, 2019. The Philippines uses the whole-of-nation approach to tackle territorial issues in the West Philippine Sea. The government commits to reveal the truth and debunk claims of a human rights crisis brought by the war on drugs. The provinces of Calabarzon region forge a joint effort to stop communist insurgency. And a conservation area is hailed by the UN World Tourism Organization for its efforts on sustainable tourism.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The government is using the whole-of-nation approach to address the territorial disputes in the West Philippine Sea. This as the Philippines maintains its stance of following rules and diplomacy in asserting its territorial claims. Rom Dulfo has the story.
The Philippine government is utilizing the whole-of-nation approach in addressing the regional security challenges posed by the territorial disputes in the West Philippine Sea. In a forum, Defense Undersecretary Cardozo Luna explains the Philippines faces various issues in the territorial dispute in the South China Sea, which is recognized as a source of instability and tension in the region. The government is determined to uphold and respect the UNCLOS and the ASEAN-China Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea established in 2002. The whole-of-nation approach is exercised by working groups negotiating with China under the Bilateral Consultation Mechanism or BCM. The BCM has working groups for political security, oil and gas, fisheries, and marine scientific research and marine environment protection. These groups constantly engage China as the government consistently raises alarm and opposition to China's continued militarization in the South China Sea. Meantime, the AFP dutifully conducts legitimate and regular maritime and aerial patrols over the West Philippine Sea while maintaining facilities in the municipality of Kalayaan and other areas. Luna also emphasized the importance of international alliances, especially with the country's policy intent of de-escalating tensions in the region. Luna also urged members of the academia and the private sector to help elevate the level of domestic and international discourse on the issue. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Meanwhile, no less than PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde himself is presenting the country's paper on current transnational crime concerns during the 39th ASEAN Association of Chiefs of Police Conference in Hanoi, Vietnam. Albayalde said part of the PNP's document is the country's efforts to strengthen cooperation with other police forces against transnational syndicates. Among topics to be discussed include illicit drug trafficking, terrorism, arms smuggling, cybercrime, transnational fraud, as well as the ASEAN APOL database system and forensic science network, among others. At the sidelines of the conference, Albayalde said the PNP contingent will hold bilateral meetings with the United Kingdom National Crime Agency and the Australian Federal Police. The 39th ASEAN APOL will be attended by delegations from the police forces of ASEAN countries, as well as observers and dialogue partners. The Philippines is a founding member of the ASEAN APOL and host of the 1st and 34th conferences to be held in Manila. The local government of Quezon City has ordered the culling of some 50 hogs within a barangay where some hogs tested positive for African swine fever or ASF. Mayor Joy Belmonte has also ordered the dismantling of illegal piggeries operated by backyard hog raisers. Belmonte said drastic measures are necessary in the ASF-afflicted areas, whether the pigs have weak or strong strains of the swine disease. The city government advised the public to only purchase pork certified safe by the National Meat Inspection Service. Earlier, 14 pigs tested positive for ASF in Barangay Bagong Silangan, Quezon City over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Marikina city government on Sunday said it will file charges against people responsible for the improper disposals of pig found floating in Marikina River last week. For its part, the Department of Agriculture has deployed a team to Montalban, Rizal to investigate the improper dumping of the dead pigs. Since Thursday last week, a total of 56 pig carcasses were retrieved from the Marikina River. Following several rollbacks in the past few weeks, oil companies have announced increases in pump prices on Tuesday. Price adjustments that will take effect Tuesday morning will include an increase of 1 peso and 35 centavos per liter for gasoline, 85 centavos per liter for diesel, and 1 peso for kerosene. The Department of Energy said this week's price hike is due to improving signals on the possible resolution of the U.S.-China trade war and lower stocks of the United States. Over 400 convicts released through the Good Conduct Time Allowance have surrendered to authorities. Meanwhile, private subdivisions are proposed to be open to motorists to ease traffic. More on these and other news around the metro from Teresa Montemayor.
About 435 convicts who were released early through the Good Conduct Time Allowance have surrendered to the Philippine National Police as of Monday morning. Over 200 of them have been turned over to the Bureau of Corrections. The convicts are given until Thursday, September 19 to surrender or face warrantless arrests. Meanwhile, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force launched today the joint exercises dubbed Gov't PA 0319 in Camp Aguinaldo. The exercise aims to train AFP units to coordinate and operate jointly in responding to threats and emergencies. Over 1,000 personnel are participating in exercises and military operations until September 27. In other news, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar has proposed opening private subdivisions to motorists to ease traffic congestion. He proposed that subdivisions in Makati and Quezon City could open their roads to be used as shortcuts or alternate routes. He noted that Las Piñas is implementing so-called friendship routes for motorists. Andanar said a holistic, systematic, and participatory approach involving even private individuals is needed to solve the traffic issue. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Teresa Montemayor.
Still to come, the government commits to reveal the truth and debunk claims of a human rights crisis brought by the war on drugs. The provinces of Calabarzon region forge a joint effort to stop communist insurgency. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
For the veterans, this bunker signifies the heroism that you have portrayed and have showed in serving your country, especially during World War II.
We believe one of its kind, a government office which is transparent, centralized, and designed not only for the employees, but for the public as well.
It's through a PPP. For the construction, government did not spend a single centavo for this 23,000 square meter Capitol building.
I'm really amazed, totally amazed by the arrangement that you have made, and you were able to perfectly the private and private participation.
Our government one-stop shop, for the first time, national to local agencies all in one place and eventually one system to give the utmost ease of doing business to our citizens.
Congratulations, and I wish you success in all of your endeavor. I wish only the best for you. people of the
The Philippine government is braced to act as purveyors of truth in the ongoing 42nd session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. This is a group of non-government organizations raise alarm against President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs. Undersecretary Severo Catura of the Presidential Human Rights Committee Secretariat said the government not only seeks more allies to the cause of human rights, but also continues to deal with those who spread fake information on alleged human rights violations in the country. Catura accused the NGOs of using the United Nations as their soundboard for their anti-government propaganda. He challenged these groups to engage with the government instead of running to the UN and avail of remedial mechanisms against human rights violations back home. The UNHRC 42nd session, which runs until September 27, is composed of updates by the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, reportings and dialogues with special rapporteurs and independent experts, and sectoral side events. An aviation firm in Clark Freeport has unveiled its $11 million simulator training center expansion project. The center, opened by the Alpha Aviation Group, or AAG, will house 4 additional simulator bays, including the brand new A320 Full Flight Simulator version 2.0. In his speech, CNC Alpha Group founder Banu Choudhury said the expansion project of the AAG will help propel the Philippines as a premier civil and military aviation training hub. He said the Asia-Pacific airline industry has been predicted to have 3.9 billion passengers by 2037, while the demand for commercial pilots was pegged at 645,000 more worldwide by 2038. Choudhury said the new simulator will become an invaluable asset for more than 300 students currently enrolled at AAG. Meanwhile, Transportation Undersecretary Raul Del Rosario commended AAG for fulfilling its commitment to producing high-standard commercial pilots. The provinces of Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon have forged unity against the new People's Army. This after they activated their respective provincial task forces to end local communist armed conflict. The Army's 2nd Infantry Division and the military is confident that through the unified stand of the Calabarzon provinces will help end the 50-year communist insurgency. Cavite was the first to activate the provincial task force on April 4, followed by Laguna on April 9, Quezon on April 11, Rizal on August 13, and Batangas on September 10. 3 provinces, 3 cities, 8 municipalities, and nearly 200 barangays already passed their respective resolutions banning the presence of the NPA from their communities. Meantime, security forces dismantled early this year the GF Honda, the NPA unit which used to operate in Batangas and Cavite. Some 122 rebels also surrendered and enrolled in the government's enhanced comprehensive local integration program. The PNP launched on Saturday its first all-female police force in Siquijor. The police force in Maria Town has 21 personnel led by Police Captain Judith Besas. Siquijor Provincial Police Office Director Angela Rejano handpicked the police force dubbed as Mariang Police. They received extensive training in police work such as arrests, first aid, fingerprint identification, and shooting firearms. Rejano said the all-women force will give female cops a chance to widen their roles in law enforcement. For his part, Police Regional Office 7 Director Debold Sina said the creation of the Mariang Police promotes women empowerment in the field of public safety. The municipality of Itogon remembers their lessons from last year's onslaught of Typhoon Ompong. Meanwhile, Iloilo opens a search for LGUs with the best waste management practices. More on this from Gigi Arcilia Agtay.
The mining community of Itogon, Benguet commemorated on Sunday the onslaught of Typhoon Ompong with a simple program and a traditional ritual to silence the spirits. Around 100 people were killed in a landslide caused by Ompong in 2018 in what was declared a disaster-prone area. The local government said the tragedy in Itogon was a wake-up call for the community to be prepared during calamities. Meanwhile, suspected members of the New People's Army shot dead on Friday, a farmer allegedly doubling as a military informer in Magpet, North Cotabato. The victim, identified as Rogelio Pasinabaw de Balid, was attending to his farm lot when he was approached by two men and shot at close range. The gunmen introduced themselves as members of the NPA Guerrilla Front Committee 53, which operates at the border of North Cotabato and Davao del Sur. In Iloilo, the Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Office has called on all local government units to join this year's search for outstanding LGUs on ecological and a sustainable waste management system. The contest aims to assess the degree of compliance of LGUs with the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. First prize winner will get 300,000 pesos, second place with 200,000 pesos, and third with 150,000 pesos. Governor Arthur Defensor Jr. has backed the program as it will encourage cleaner surroundings that will help in the prevention of the spread of dengue. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Gigi Arcilia Agtay.
Up next, the DOH reports exceeding its target number of children receiving the measles vaccine. A conservation area is hailed by the UN World Tourism Organization for its efforts on sustainable tourism. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Ang pambansang ibon natin ay hindi mabubuhay sa labas ng kagubatan. So unfortunately, 80% ng original forest cover natin ay nawala because of deforestation in the past. And on top of that, may mga Philippine eagles pa rin tayo na nababaril at natatrap ng mga flood communities sa mga natitirang forest kung saan sila nakatira.
Here at the center, we aim to breed the Philippine eagles in captivity. But the broader work of the Philippine Eagle Foundation involves trying to protect and conserve forests where eagles occur, as well as working with many indigenous peoples in these areas.
So ang ginagawa namin, pinoprotect namin yung eagle. Hindi lang po sa eagle, kundi pati yung forest.
Sinarg is our youngest Philippine eagle.
He is a captive bred Philippine eagle, meaning he was hatched here in our facility. His egg was incubated in our laboratory.
The Department of Health reports that it has reached over 100% of its target children for anti-measles vaccinations. DOH Undersecretary Eric Domingo said they were able to vaccinate over 3.8 million children who are 6 to 59 months of age as of August 30. The target is 3.7 million children since the national measles epidemic struck in January. Meanwhile, they were able to immunize 1.3 million out of their 8.5 million target children from kindergarten to grade 7. Domingo said they have shifted from community-based to school-based immunization to reach children along with their adult relatives. He said they will continue working with the Department of Education for extra mobilization and preparation of students. Meantime, while fewer measles cases have been recorded in the past weeks, the DOH does not want to lift the nationwide measles epidemic. Domingo said there are still measles cases in Regions 3, Calabarzon, Western and Central Visayas, and Northern Mindanao and the National Capital Region. In our foreign news, Iran denies the allegations of the United States that it is behind recent drone attacks on Saudi Arabia's Aramco oil establishments. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Saturday blamed Iran for the attacks on two Aramco oil plants in the east of Saudi Arabia. This came hours after Yemen's Houthi rebels claimed responsibility for the drone attacks. In a statement, Foreign Ministry spokesman Abbas Mousavi said they have resisted against the Saudi-led coalition for the past 5 years. He said that the only way to establish peace in the region is to halt the Saudi coalition's attacks, cut off Western support, and find political solutions. Yemen's Houthi rebels on Saturday claimed responsibility for the drone attacks on two Aramco oil plants in the east of Saudi Arabia, Houthi-run Al Masirah TV reported. According to preliminary estimates, the explosions interrupted supplies estimated at 5.7 million crude oil barrels, or about 50% of the company's productions. A conservation area in Rizal province has been recognized for practicing sustainable tourism by the UN World Tourism Organization. The Masungi georeserve received an international recognition for its sustainable tourism practices at the annual World Tourism Organization Awards in St. Petersburg, Russia on Thursday. This is the third time Masungi georeserve is recognized by the UNWTO. In a statement, the Masungi Georeserve Foundation said they hope for the world to see the area as something special. The destination is a conservation area and rustic rock garden known for its sprawling limestone landscape and trails perched on towering trees. For about 15 years, the Masungi Georeserve Foundation has sustained and increased measures to protect the 2,700 hectares of vulnerable land, often targeted as a site for quarry and illegal logging. A Filipina beauty queen who grew up abroad finds peace in doing charity work in her parents' home country. Her outreach efforts aim to inspire others to do good and find their own value in life. Teresa Montemayor has the story.
It was Excelsa de Jesus' first time to visit here when she was crowned Miss Philippines America in the United States in 2016. While she was doing her engagements as a title holder, it touched her heart that she was able to help many people living in poverty. This time crowned with another title as the Miss Republic Philippines International in Manila, she took it upon herself to explore different provinces in the country to host outreach events. Along with her parents, Wilfreda and Ana Jean, she visited various institutions in Metro Manila, Palawan, Iloilo, Negros Occidental, and Bacolod City. They provided food and hygiene kits for their beneficiaries, who were also entertained with Excelsa's singing and motivational skills. The 21-year-old beauty queen said that going through a phase in her life where she suffered from depression pushed her to go places and spread words of encouragement to others. She said it is normal for teenagers to doubt themselves or question the ways of the world, but in the end, all they need is acceptance. She also noted that a relationship with the Lord will truly satisfy one's life with joy, love, peace, and happiness. Excelsa announces a collaboration for another charity event with world-renowned veteran Filipino singer Jose Marichan on October 12 at Northern Boulevard, Woodside in New York. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Teresa Montemayor.
Tropical depression Marilyn threatens to re-enter the country within 48 hours. Pagasa said Marilyn weakened into a low-pressure area on Sunday while exiting northeast of Basco, Batanes. Another LPA and a tropical depression were also monitored east of Luzon. Meantime, Marilyn affects the southwest monsoon, which will bring occasional heavy rains. Here's another look at today's biggest stories.
The Philippines uses the whole-of-nation approach to tackle territorial issues in the West Philippine Sea. The government commits to reveal the truth and debunk claims of a human rights crisis brought by the war on drugs. The provinces of Calabarzon region forged a joint effort to stop communist insurgency, and a conservation area is hailed by the UN World Tourism Organization for its efforts on sustainable tourism.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.